All right, here we go. March Dirt 100 at Bristol Motor Speedway, ready to rock and roll out here tonight as we got our drivers getting ready to get up here on the starting grid. It's going to be a long race here, but we're ready to go here as we have Evan out front in the 33 machine. Right on the outside of him is Kiefer. He's going to be in the 2 spot. Ethan's going to be in the 3. Dylan Yeager back there in the 4 spot. Tanner Tomasi in the 5. Felix Roy in the 6. Dylan Hauser back there in the 7. Bergeron in the 8. Hopkins sitting in the 9th spot. Jaden in the 10. Majulis in the 11. Cardwell back there in the 12. James in the 13. Mr. Clemens in the 14. Jesse Gordon in the 15. The 16 of Blaine Dalton. Wyatt Walker in the 17. Boogeyman back there in the 18 spot. Wyatt Walker, in the 18. Cruz back there in the 19. And man, oh man, your number 20 car, Caleb, back here in the 55, or the number 10 machine there. Hey, Smolden, that's a lot of guys, a little track.
that is a lot of cars, big cars, on a very slick off track. It's going to get worse as the night goes on. After 100 laps, we'll be lucky if there's even dirt left on this track, to be completely honest with you. Some of these guys' I ratings are just astronomical. I mean, you got to go, I think, there's one guy with a 4.9 thousand in the top 10. You got to go all the way down to the 14th car to get
there. You got it. These
down
boys
to 3,000.
Giving you guys the 4 wide salute. Look at that. That's what you get when you get some professionals right there. Look at that. That looks pretty darn good right there.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. We always love the four wide salute at a dirt track. Obviously, saluting all the fans, all the past racers. It's always a good thing. It's very neat to see them all go 4 wide.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see these guys put on a show here for us. As looks like they're gonna get ready to break them off here. Here they go. Not quite World of Outlaw guys out here, but they're trying their best, guys. All right, they're trying to put on a show here for you fans in Bristol. All right. As we see,
it's all about keeping the fans happy, right?
Yeah, you got to keep the fans happy, and you know what? Seeing them 4 wide was pretty awesome to see, and yeah, definitely keeping myself entertained here as the rest of these guys are ready to go. It looks like we got Ethan up there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Ethan's car, but it looks like they're going to get it ready to go. Evan's taking the field out of 4, and we're ready to go racing. Smolden 100 laps, March Dirt 100 to Bristol. Let's get it.
I bet you half of these guys will be flat wore out after half of this race is over with. 100 laps is a lot of laps, but here we go.
All right.
Starting lap number 1.
Starting up front, the 33. Evan's waiting to go. He's going to go whenever he wants. And we're off. March Dirt 100 underway. Evan right now taking the field to the start-finish line. Ethan back there into 2. We're 3 wide, going into 1. Looking awesome right now. Dylan Yeager back there racing with Ethan. Tanner Tomasi back there 3 wide all the way to the back. Oh boy. Watching James right now in the 741 machine. They're beating and banging. Blake Majulis needs a black cleared back there. Blake Majulis all the way in the back right now trying to get something going. These boys are blinking hard. Look how bad they're blinking. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, there's a couple out there that are blinking kind of bad. You have a caution, though.
Did we see how bad they're blinking? That was terrible. Oh, my God.
I don't know if I had it that bad on my end. It wasn't great. There was a few cars blinking there, so we could have some connection issues amongst all of us, but hopefully that clears itself up. And yeah, but we do have a caution out on the track.
Caution out on the track here. We're going to find out exactly what happened. Some guys are saying it was Yeager here. We'll wind it back here a couple times here and see exactly what happened here. See how the blinking was. These guys were blinking hard.
Yeah, it was tough to keep track of on our end there for sure. The cars were disappearing, and it was tough. It looked like it was part of him, but I'm not sure exactly what caused it because, well, he was gone. He was off the track. He disappeared for a quick second.
Yeah, a lot of these guys just completely vanished off the track. Delaware double file restart as we're 3 laps of the 100 in the books here with our first caution out here.
Yeah, it didn't take long to get the first caution. That was unfortunate. I didn't think it would break down that way, but with the cars blinking and no one being able to see where the cars around them were at, probably didn't help. So hopefully that clears itself up and be good green flag racing after this.
Yeah, definitely a lot of cars out here.
Double start though. I do like the Delaware. It is fun. It's a good feature to have in dirt. I wish more tracks or more races had it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think more tracks, more people, more things done it. As we're ready to go racing, here we go. Pace lights are off the truck, Smolden. We're going to try it again.
Second time never hurts, right?
Second time never hurts right now. It's Evan up there all by himself right now in that 33 machine. Let's see if he can get it together. He's got Ethan right behind him and Dylan Yeager back there in the mix also. We're ready to go. Great looking shot right there as Evans taking the field to the start-finish line. Green flag in the air at Bristol again. Here we go. There's Ethan back there in the 2. Guys are blinking a little bit there, a little bit more. Blinking hard right now. Look at this. This is crazy how bad these guys are blinking.
It's definitely rough. It almost looks worse on your screen than it does anything. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're looking at on your monitor right now, but got a couple guys blinking throughout the field. But
yeah, a couple guys blinking hard right now. As we see Evan right now taking that high side. There's Ethan back there also. Looks like big blinks coming through right now. Ethan right now sitting up there in that 2 spot. As these guys are just vanishing and coming back and going away. It's like, I don't know what they're doing. Never had this many.
Evan is up front, and he's starting to pull a little gap. He looks pretty good up there. We'll see what happens. These cars are just starting to settle in now. These guys are getting used to who's around them. You know, a lot of these guys don't run with each other, so there's different tendencies out of every car or every car driver. And it looks like they're trying to settle in a little bit, so these next 20, 30 laps could be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see these boys disappearing and coming back to life here as we're riding along with Evan right now in the 33, and he just vanishes. Not sure exactly what's going on here with this and why it's doing that, but hey, Ethan right there, right behind him in the 23. It looks like we got a good camera here that's able to stay true with these guys right now as Ethan's back there in the 2 spot. Yeager sliding in there in the 48, trying to get himself up there in the 3 spot right now. And here comes Hauser on the outside, working that top side right there. Blake Majulis back there in the 5 spot, up 6 spots since the start of the race. Blake's really got it going on right now. Roy back there. Yeager into the wall. He's able to hold on to it. But Evan Say right now is doing a great job holding it together in that 33. Ethan back there in the 23 machine. Race going as expected right now, Smolden?
Yeah, so far you got some guys that are trying to get that bottom line to work a little bit. Obviously, it looks like the faster line's the high line. You got some guys trying to make the slider line work, but they're also being generous and not completely forcing it up there. So, yeah, this is what we expected out of these higher I-rating drivers. They know how to run these.
Yeah, these boys are putting on quite the show right now as we see Alex Bergeron in the 12 machine working his way underneath James. James up on the high side in the 74s. We're 12 of the 100 in the books here right now. Evan's still out to a good lead. Ethan back there in that 2 spot. There is Hauser in the 3. Blake Majulis now up to the 4. Blake is charging. He's definitely got a killer setup inside that 127 machine. And Smolden, like I said, 100 laps. These guys got to be feeling the burn right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, they all know it was 100 laps, but we're 14 laps into it right now. I think the key note right now to take, though, is we already have cars within 10 seconds of being a lap down, and we're only 14 laps in. So if that tells me anything, half the field's going to be lapped, probably by lap 40. So it's being a leader and being the first car to go through lap traffic is always the hardest, right? So this could get very interesting here very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Hauser right now sitting in that 2 spot. There's Ethan back there in the 3. Blake Majulis moving up on that 4 side. Here he comes trying to work his way into the top 3 in the 127 machine. There's Ethan back there right behind him. Ethan trying to close that gap a little bit. There's Yeager back there. Tanner Tomasi back here in the mix right now. That Speed Ranch machine. Felix Roy back here. James Starry and Damian Kiefer working his way up. You see him perking that high side over top of Davin Cardwell. There's Cruz and Drew Hopkins. Jaden back there, a little bit about some of the guys in the back here. Jesse Gordon in the 15, the Wyatt Walker sitting back here in the 16. Jamie Kephart in the 17. Clement in the 18. And Caleb back there in the 19 spot right now. as we get ready to get into some lap traffic here. Lap traffic coming ahead for some of these guys here. As we watch Evan right now in the 33 running away with it. Dylan right now. Blake Majulis sliding up into that top 3. Trying to get himself into the top 2 here. Get up with there with his teammate. Evan back here in the 4 as he's battling hard with Mr. Yeager. Him and Ethan going door to door. As Tanner Tomasi's finding some speed there in that speed ranch. Alex Bergeron right behind him. Big blinks coming.
Tomasi and Bergeron definitely are hooked up to one another, but the top 5 have definitely split. I mean, they've got almost over a 4-second lead now over 6th place, but we do have a caution, so that is going to tighten everything up.
Caution out on the speedway. Not sure exactly who was involved with that one, but they're telling me they're taking a look here, and they're saying maybe Caleb. They're saying maybe Caleb here as we rewind it back. Take a look here exactly what happened. Maybe a hard blink here again. Yeah, see, look how bad they're blinking. That's crazy.
Yeah, they are flat disappearing for a while, so it's tough to see exactly what happened.
Yeah, looks like he was just sitting on the track there. Not sure exactly what happened to that driver, but Caleb in the pits.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Unfortunate for his team. Better luck next time, but at least he didn't wrap anybody else up with him, I guess. The caution, it's unfortunate that we had to bring one out for that kind of incident, and you hate to see that, but here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. You hate to see it with these guys out here running as hard as they're doing right now, but these guys are trying their best here. As we get them locked in here and ready to go once again. It should be green-white here. I believe we're going to have one more round here. The lights will go off the pace truck here, Smolden. Not bad. Evan's holding on up there. He's led every lap so far tonight. Definitely a tough guy to beat out there, Smolden.
Yeah, he's got a 9.1 I rating for a reason, but he knows what he's doing. Fast, quick. But Dylan right behind him, though, with just an A license, obviously 7,000 I rating, but he was holding his own, too. But I was shocked to see how quick the top 5 were able to split away from the rest of the field like that. I was not expecting that. I don't know if it was misfortunate back in the 5-6 spot, but that top 5, they were flat out checking out. So see if they can do that again. And what this does do, though, is allow the cars that were about to go a lap down some extra breathing room here, maybe figure out what they need to do differently on this restart. And yeah. We're not even a quarter of the way through this race yet, so they better figure it out or they're going to be going home early.
Yeah, definitely. As we see Evan right now, your leader in that 33 machine. A couple guys came into the pits there as Hauser, Blake Majulis up there in that top 3. And it looks like these guys are going to be doing the Delaware restart here once again, so it should be interesting. Like you said, we're just under a quarter of the way through this race. It's getting slick out there. How slick is that track right now? Is it going to get much slicker than what it is?
It will be completely burned off by the end of this race right here. I mean, a quarter of the way here, and I don't know if most people have been watching to the track state. I try to watch that best I can. Obviously, racing dirt myself, it's the first thing I notice, but the entries into the turns right now, into 1 and into 3 are already spanked, right? Let alone another 70-some laps on them, 80 laps on them. It's going to be tough, but we're back to green flag racing. Here we go. Yeah,
Evan out to the start right there. Hauser on that high side. Blake Majulis looking to get up there and race with his teammate. He's currently in that 2 spot in the 127 machine. These guys are racing door to door right behind him. There's Yeager and Ethan. Roy back there. Roy's the only one not blinking out of everybody there. Everybody around Roy blinking, but Roy able to hold true there as the 12 of Bergeron is murking his way up on that high side, up into that wall right now, doing it for Team Canada. Him and Roy both out of Canada racing. Back up to the front now, we see Evan. There's Blake Majulis. There's Yeager in that top 3.
What I have noticed after this restart, though, is some of these faster guys up front are starting to run that lower to mid groove line versus all the way up against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see if that actually stays true, but eventually, once the track slicks off as much as it's going to, that high line is going to be, it's so far out of the way, and you're not really gaining much momentum getting out of exit, that the low line is going to come back, too. And it's fun to watch everybody start running the low line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a pleasure to watch these guys race. As you see Evan coming right at your screen right there, Blake Majulis in that 2 spot. And these guys are just blinking. I don't know. I don't know if that's on my end or what, but I tell you, man, they're blinking hard for me.
Yeah, I think it's more on your end, if anything. Your stream sounds good, so it's not. I don't think it's anything to do with your internet connection, but yeah, they're not blinking nowhere near as bad on my end as it looks like they're doing on your stream.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly was going on there. We have to take a look at that later on as we see Evan right now from the blimp cam. Got his teammate right behind him. There's Blake in the 127. Dylan Yeager in that 3 spot there trying to find something to get underneath Blake. Ethan back there. There's Hauser and Damian Kiefer. Alex Bergeron in the 7. Roy back there in the 8. 9 is Cruz. And then 10 right now is James coming up. As we had a few more blinkers there at the bottom. There's the 70 blinking away. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that blink cam's always fun to watch too because you can see the different angles or pitches that these drivers are putting these cars into going into entry into the turns. And, a few of the faster guys, they're almost identical. And you start scrolling back to the, mid-pack of the race, and they're completely different. And that's where the speed from these top guys are coming from is they know exactly how to get that nose of the car angled into that turn to get that car to rotate and then, roll out from there. So it's fun to watch these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Blake Majulis right now in that 2 spot trying to go on the high side of Evan there. Evan able to close that door there as we're watching the battle up front right now between Evan and Blake. Yeager up there has got a gap between them, though. There's Ethan back there in that 4 spot. Hauser in the 5. Blake Bergeron just in that 6 spot, so just right outside your top 5 there for Bergeron. There's Damian Kiefer back there in that 13 machine. As these guys are rocking and rolling, there's Roy rolling that high side. Cruz back there in your top 10 with James Starry back here. Molden, these guys are getting racy here with 33 of the 100 in the books.
They certainly are. They certainly are. Some of these guys can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel here. Obviously, it's very early in the race. Anything could happen. Track's getting probably to the point where these guys up front really like it, right? These guys are used to running tracks set at this, at this track state. So they're probably going to gap some of the guys out back or in mid-pack at least. So it's interesting to see. I want to see how they can manage lap traffic, though, is what I'm really interested to see. Because lap traffic is always tough, let alone when the track is very, very slick. You don't know what's going to happen. But once again, we have another caution. So there goes the lap traffic worry.
Yeah, lap traffic, definitely a worry here. As we got guys blinking all over the place here on our end. Not sure exactly what's going on, but as we had an awesome shot there of Blake Majulis from the backside of Evan's car there. So caution out on the speedway again. I'm not sure exactly. We're waiting on race control to let us know what happened.
Yeah, it looked like we had a car upside down back in 2, it looked like. Not sure who it was. By the time I got there, the car was gone.
Yeah, the car was gone. We're going to try to go into the replay here and take a look at we can bring down some of this stuff here maybe to help with our frame rate here a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, dun, dun. Trying to think if there's anything else I can change here. Dun, 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 dun. See if that helps a little bit, maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure if that's going to help or hurt. Not sure, but we're going to try to change a couple things up. Follow what iRacing tells them. That's what they want to see right now. As we get back up to the front here, hopefully we can get this blinking stuff under control here. It's kind of crazy. All right, we're ready to go here, Smolden. We're almost there, buddy. These lights are going to go off this time by. Evan still hasn't let nobody around him. Any surprise there? I think not. I think this guy's got this car on a rail here tonight. I think he's going to be the one to beat, hey?
Yeah, he certainly does have it on rails. It's the Delaware restart also helps being the only car out on that front row, but I mean that's not the only reason why he's out front. He knows what he's doing, but it is fun watching him. I haven't seen a mistake out of him yet, so he knows what he's doing. It's fun to watch. he'd be a guy hard not to pick to win, right? He's led every lap so far, so I don't see why he couldn't do, another handful.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see him right now, he's up front. He's got his teammate Blake Majulis right beside him there, and Yeager and Ethan and Dylan. All these guys back here ready to go, man. So we'll find out exactly once these guys get lined up. They're getting all these cars dialed in here, finding out where everybody belongs. But we do know one thing: Evan, is your race leader.
Race control. That has been the only for sure guarantee.
Yep. Far, right? So. Right now, it's looking good for him. He hasn't let nobody around. His car looks pretty clean, but I'm sure all that's subject to change here with 36 of the 100 in the books. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We're ready to go. Here's Blake Majulis trying to chase down Evan right now. Door to door with the 48 and the 23. 3 wide is what we like to call that here at Bristol. The 23 and the 12 and the 48. These guys are getting racy. Alex Bergeron out here also. Caution back out on the speedway once again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You never want to see a caution come out that early. These guys are they realize now that they have to at least try to attempt to make as many passes as possible, because once they get strung out like they have been, you're not going to gain on these fast guys up front. So.
Yeah, it looks like Hauser just kind of dumped up to the tie side there. Boom, never got a chance back at it and just got flipped around, and there's your caution. So hopefully these boys will get it figured out here quickly for them as we get back up to the front here.
It's unfortunate for Felix. He had a fast car, started near, I think he was top 10 at least, start the race. So it's always tough to get the nose up under the car from, the guy behind you. But fortunately, these cars are so big, they're hard to judge at times on exactly where that nose of the car's at. And just watched it. You can hit someone else in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've seen that right there, these guys have no problem getting around you. But, man, you get up on the top side, Damian Kiefer needs a black flag clear here as he gets that cleared up and out of the way. And I tell you, you never know what you're going to get when you get into these races. But I tell you one thing that I've learned is that 100 laps at Bristol is a nightmare.
Well, hit me up in another, 60-some laps. So we got, by the end of this, they should have the track figured out, or the ones that will get it figured out will have it figured out by that point. And the ones that don't know what they're doing yet, they'll probably be packed up and their haulers will be hauling them back to their hometown. So unfortunate that a few of these cautions have come out. I think it'll clean itself up. But I think you got guys that at this point know that they're not going to win, so they're just going to put in some clean laps, and that's what I'm hoping for. At least time will tell.
Absolutely. Here we go. All right, there you got it. Evan on the out front there. Blake Majulis on the high side. Yeager down low in that 48. We're ready to try to do this again here for the 15th time here tonight.
We are going green flag racing once again. So
Evan out to the lead there. Blake Majulis right behind him. His teammates looking good right now. Yeager back there in the 3 spot. Blake Majulis in that 4. He moved up into the top 5 there. Ethan Toder back there in the 5 spot. Felix Roy able to get that chase machine back up there rolling in the 91. Drew Hopkins in the 7 spot right now, but everybody's going after Evan, and we'll keep the cameras on him here. Your race leader in that 33 machine with his teammate Blake Majulis in the 127 right behind him. And there's Yeager in the top 3 as we just clipped over 40 of the 100 here at Bristol. Track's really slippery, Smolden.
It's only going to get worse, so if you think it's bad now, hold on to your seat, because it's going to be 10 times as worse at the end of this. So as Evan's still up front, it's always nice to have a teammate behind you as well. These guys have logged more laps together than probably half this field has done all together, right? I mean, these guys have done some numerous races. And always a comforting feeling knowing that the guy behind you, a teammate, he's not going to spin you on purpose. If anything, he's just going to help you, right? He might even be able to give you a little love and say, hey, coming in low here, I'm going high. I'm getting a run off of you like he is now. And you can kind of build off of that going throughout the race. So it always helps having a teammate right behind you or in front of you. So, but it looks like we have a pass for the lead going right now as we speak.
Yep, that's it. Blake Majulis, your new leader here, at least for that hot second, as these boys are putting on a show up front. Blake and Evan right now doing a great job throwing each other some haymakers here, as these guys are trained professionals here, as your top three drivers all professional licensed drivers, with Yeager back there in the 3, Evan in that 2 spot, Blake Majulis in that 2 spot, and Evan back up to the front. These guys are changing leads more than I change certain things. Jesus.
Yeah, it depends on what part of the country you're from. You know, there's some areas that, you know, only change it once a week or, you know, whatnot. So it happens. But, Blake and Evan, they're making it fun to watch this race so far. You know, they're probably laughing internally by themselves as well that, you know, why not throw a couple little sliders here and there? Just make sure, you know, Evan still stays on his toes because obviously he's led every lap besides the one. So make sure he's still breathing up there. You know, you got to wake him up every so often.
Yep, exactly, as these guys will get up into some lap traffic here with about 5 laps to go. Ethan in that 4 spot right now is Dylan Yeager working his way up, and we see Alex Bergeron in your top 5 right now. Felix Roy in the 6, Damian Kiefer in the 7. There's the 8 of Hopkins. 9, Jesse Gordon making his way to the top 10 there, also with Boogeyman. Maybe a couple league guys lining up here trying to get themselves up to the front, Smolden.
Yeah, no, I seen Boogeyman jumping up. I think he started to restart in the top 10. He's starting to make some room. I didn't want to say anything before the restart and jinx him, but yeah, it was. I don't want to be a homer by any means, but yeah, it was nice to see a lead guy or a couple lead guys up there starting to, I wouldn't say make a charge to the front, but they're gonna, you know, somewhat maintain, and I would imagine they'd be in the top 10 of finish at least.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see them guys rocking and rolling there. Jamie Kephart and Jesse right in front of Tanner Tomasi right now in that Speed Ranch machine, as we see Gordon trying to make a move here underneath Cruz. Looks like he's going to be able to make that stick back up front. Blake Majulis, your new leader, as we see Evan go right back underneath him, but that lap's going to go to Blake. These guys
he's just looking off a couple laps here and there, you know, getting the first spot, or, you know, first place spot for a lap or two. But these guys it's fun watching these guys up front. So we have another caution on the racetrack.
Caution out on the speed. Let's see what he's talking about here. He got turned. Boom.
Ow.
Oh, and they kept it rolling though.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about these cars. They kind of, if you're going fast enough, they'll usually land on the rubber again.
Tough break there for Jaden Krause out there. So they'll get him rolled back up. We'll do it again here for the 18th time tonight. Blake Majulis, your new leader.
So it's going to be interesting to see with a new leader like we do now have, which line he chooses to start the race. Obviously, he's going to start on the outside, but does he stay high? Does he go low like Evan's been doing? Yeah, it should be interesting here. So,
all right, absolutely.
Time will tell.
Time will tell, man. These boys out here ready to put on a show here tonight, as they've done it so far, as we're in our 15th caution, 53 out of 100 in the books here tonight. Hey, I'll be here all night. So, hey, these guys are ones wrecking out here, you know what I mean? And they got to get it together, Smolden. You don't want to see a bunch of cautions out here when you're talking big money.
No, especially the leaders definitely don't want to, right? They start gapping out, and then every time they get a gap and they're comfortable with where they're at, they get tucked right back into the rest of the field because of a caution comes out. I didn't know I was going to have to hire a secretary to keep track of how many cautions we're going to have tonight. But at least they're getting, you know, 10, 15 laps in between each caution. So I guess it's better than what it could have been. But with some of the higher skill guys like we have out here, you'd think we'd go a little longer. But we're back green flag racing here, and hopefully we make it to the end.
Yeah, right now as Blake Majulis took that green flag, Yeager back there in the 2 spot. There's Evan. Evan finding himself deeper back in that field. He hasn't seen third place all night. Evan back there in the 4 spot as we speak. Jaeger up to the 2. These guys are getting racing now right now. It's Blake Majula's show up front in the 127. Evan back there into 2 spot now. Jaeger into 3. Ethan into 4. Alex Bergeron up here racing for a podium in the top 5. These guys are rocking and rolling. The only guy up here in the top 6. Got Cardwell out here. Let's see what's going to happen with these guys. These guys are running. Got Kiefer back here also. As we watch Cardwell. I tell you, nice battle right here, Smolden.
Yeah, it's a real good battle back there for sure. Some of these guys are too wide, but they're running different lines. They're going in and out. Guys are getting loose. Guys are getting good drives off of the exits. When you shuffle places on the restart like we did this past one, it always makes it difficult because the guys that are used to starting, or like Evan always firing off when he wanted to, now has to wait for someone else to fire off, and that just changes the whole rhythm of the race. But you got another caution.
Yep, speaking of cautions, we had the camera right on it as Davin Cardwell. Oh, man, tough break there.
Oh, boy. Carnage is what we like to call that. That is carnage.
That's a tough break right there. It looks like the 70 just locked him up and nowhere else for anybody else to go there. Tough break as we see what the caution's going to be here. Have you heard Race Control say anything about it yet?
I have not.
All right. Well, this is going to be interesting.
Sounds like they're coming over right now.
Yep, looks like it was on Cruz out there. They're giving it on the 55 here. So, tough break for the 55 as he was running pretty cleanly up front all night long. So, they're good at the tail, Smolden. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but good thing for him. There's still 44 laps to go.
Hey, that's a good thing for us. Tons of racing left. And they set this 100-lap race at Bristol on dirt for only 1 hour, so we got a time crunch here.
Yeah, there could be a time crunch. We're almost halfway for our remaining time allowed it. So they better figure some shit out.
Yeah, because guess what? Your race is going to be ending under default here. Because I tell you what, the closer we get to the 100 laps, guess what's going to happen? More cautions.
More cautions, baby.
And these guys have set this race up for a 1 hour window. Not with us. We could be here all night. But I'm talking about them. They have literally 23 minutes left to get this race done. And we're looking at how many laps? About 43 after this. Here we go.
Bad time management is what I would like to call that. But here we go. Hopefully they'll figure it out. And one of these times they have to figure it out. We'll run out of laps to race eventually.
Absolutely. As Blake Majula's your leader right now. Jaeger back there in the 2. Here comes Evan on that high side, moving himself up to P2 right now. Ethan into 4. Alex Bergeron into 5 right now, and these guys are rocking and rolling, Smolden. This dirt is getting slippery. You're watching the cream rise to the top. Some of the guys that love racing on the slick track, as you see Blake Majulis right now just running away with it. Doesn't even look like the track's slick to him.
Now, some of these guys will be able to, they prefer the track to run like this, right? So the car reacts and acts different when the track slicks off like this. And if they, these guys all have professionally built cars out here, so in their setups. So some of these guys have their cars set up to run when the track is like this. So when it's tacky at the start of a race, they're slower because their car is not set up for what the end of the race is going to be like. And, we were talking a little bit about this pre-race. This is where you're going to be able to tell where these guys normally, or how these guys normally run. Like you said, the cream is going to rise to the top here real soon. And I feel like we're watching it right now.
Yeah, we're watching it right now. We're seeing Jesse Gordon moving up 7 spots also. He's now up to the 8th spot in that number 10 machine. So Gordon on the move here also. Right in front of him, he's got Damian Kiefer up there, Tanner Tomasi, Blake Majulis up there in that top 5 right now. And looking at some of your leaders up here, Blake and Evan on another level here as the rest of these guys are just trying to stay up here with them. We're 63 of the 100 in the books here. And I tell you, man, these guys are putting on a show. Your top 10 definitely not looking bad as we go further into the back here. In the 11th spot right now, that's Felix Roy and that 91 machine. Cruz back there with that earlier EOL moving all the way back up to the 12. We got Cross back there. There's Boogeyman working his way up there in that Trash Panda machine, currently sitting in the 14. Clement in the 15. Wyatt Walker in the 16 also. So a lot of household names back there in the back. We'll see if they can make a charge to the front here, Smolden.
Yeah, it's good to see the familiar names out there. Obviously, we appreciate you all coming out here. We appreciate watching you guys. But, yeah, like you said, Blake and Evan, they're just out on their own island right now. I mean, if this goes green, they'll probably be a lap ahead of everybody else at this point. They've already got almost a 2-second lead on third place. So I don't see anybody getting around these guys unless there's some unfortunate misfortune between these two up front here.
Absolutely, as we ride along with Alex Bergeron here. I tell you, boys, this will probably be the only chance you ever get to get inside the cockpit with Alex Bergeron, so enjoy it as you see him right now ripping that high side, trying to get up here and catch him. He's currently sitting in that 5 spot, so Alex Bergeron out of Canada definitely got a great-looking machine out here tonight. Got a chance to still get up there, currently sitting in the money. I believe the top 5 are getting paid here tonight, so Bergeron in that money as we ride along with Tanner Tomasi in that Speed Ranch machine. And as you can see, that track is literally an ice rink, Smolden.
There's not much left to it. The fast guys know how to run around here. It is, when I say throttle control, those words don't even explain how hard it is to get these cars around a track like this. Like, it's already hard enough. I mean, there's nothing left of this track. There's no pushing up near the wall. I mean, there's a little tacky up there, but trying to get that right rear up there in this big of a car is brutally hard. I mean, there's a reason why I'm up in the broadcast booth drinking some beers with you versus out here on the track trying to even attempt what these guys are doing out here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, lap traffic just ahead of the horizon here for Blake Majulis. We're riding along with him in the 127. And you can just listen to that throttle. Just listen to the man put into work as we ride along with him. As you saw a slider right there from Evan right in front of him.
That was beautiful shot, beautiful shot. It was nice to be able to see. That is what a slider job looks like inside of one of these cabs. You can't tell where those are coming from. You can kind of sense it at times, but you have no idea when they're coming or if they should be coming. And hey, you got to know as a driver to either let off or try pinching them and not allow it to have any room. So it's tough as a driver. There are no spotters in these cars out here. There is no race control in their ears. There's nothing. It's just the driver and that machine.
Absolutely, and these guys are putting on a show here with 26 laps left to go for Blake Majulis and Evan right there in that 2 spot. Dylan back there in the 3, the 4 of Ethan, and Alex Bergeron still trying to rip that high side out here, trying to get up there and get himself on the podium here, man. The big money, you want to be in that 1 and 2 spot. That's 200 to win and 100 per second. Not bad for about 50 minutes of dirt track racing, Smolden.
No, definitely not. Some of these pro guys, they clip a couple of these big money races a night, and hell, I mean, it's hard to even see why you'd want to go out to the real track at times, right? I mean, some of these guys can make just as much money off of a simulator online as they can in real life, and no risk. No, when you crash, you hit reset, and you get a brand new car. It's not like the real world. So some of these guys put a lot of time and effort into these cars or any kind of racing. But it's fun to be up in the booth and be able to broadcast it, watching these guys. So it's a joy.
Absolutely. As we see Blake Majulis now navigating through lap traffic, Evan right there with him. These guys, that's part of Bristol racing, especially short track racing. As you get up in that lap traffic right now, Blake Majulis working the high side. Got Jamie Kephart right there below him. Jesse Gordon right there also. So, these leaders, man, like I said, are working it right now as you see all this lap traffic, man. It's like being on the freeway. But look at Blake just navigate his way through there, kind of like, hey, not a big deal. I kind of enjoy seeing cars.
Right, yeah, no, and this is exactly what I was talking about, 20, 30 laps ago. I didn't think we were going to get as many cautions as we have had so far. This here is where second place has an advantage, right? First place the lap cars are always going to be in your way, but they're so unpredictable sometimes that you don't know, not only do you not know where they're going to go, but sometimes they're taking the line that you want. So you have to adjust what line you're going to take, and usually that's not the fastest line that you want. So it allows second place to see what you're going to do first and then do something different to make a move on you. So it looks like they got a little bit of a gap before they have to come into more lap traffic, but yeah, this is exactly what I was, referring to earlier in the race, and it would have been very, very interesting to see this happen, go down, 30 laps ago versus now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see Blake Majulis, your leader, Evan, stay back there in that 33 machine, and they're racing hard right now. Somebody wants that $200 over the $100, and at the end of the day, I think it's both going to go to their go right to their wall. They may if I was sitting 1 and 2 with the teammate, I might be like, hey, let's just finish 1-2 and split the pot down the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they're racing this hard. Maybe more bragging rights, but they also know that probably no matter what they're doing, they're not going to wreck one another. They've got a pretty serious gap on third place. I mean, what are we looking at? Over 4 seconds now. So it could be more bragging rights than anything. I think most guys in this instance would probably just tag along and then wait to the last 5 laps to go ahead and do whatever they got to do. But, hey, that makes for boring racing. They are not making it boring right now, so I'd prefer them race like this.
Oh, absolutely. As you see Blake saying, hey, all right, enough of that fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take the lead and not look back. And I'm going to say that's probably going to be the way this race might go. But then again, Evan might have a little bit more left in the tank as Yeager finally making his way through all that lap traffic. Ethan back there in that 4 spot. Alex Bergeron still got quite a way to go here to get himself in the top 3, but he is in the top 5, and that's where the money's at. As you see Tanner Tomasi back there in that 91 machine trying to get himself in the top 5. Cardwell just outside of it in the 7 spot. Felix Roy, Damian Kiefer in the 9. Your top 10 with Drew Hopkins out there tonight. So we'll see how it's going to go. And, man, we're inching closer and closer this time by. 10 to go, Smolden. It's time to get big, boy.
It's time. I didn't think it was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but here we are. Hell of a race out of the top, 5, 6 guys out of a lot of the guys, to be honest. There's a couple misfortunate cautions, but, it's part of racing. But they cleaned it up, and they're showing us why they are all out here for Flowers Motorsports' big money race of March.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if you guys ever want to be a part of the big money races, man, get with Jonathan 25 Flowers on Twitch. He does these about once every 3 months. We try to run them quarterly, so you get about 4 of these big money races a year from John. So awesome job. He puts on a great show, a great race here. And hey, the fact that he picked Bristol for this one at 100 laps, I mean, Bristol, a unique track here, throws some dirt on it, Smolden, and make it a money race is a pretty good deal, especially with the real cars just racing there this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so everybody's obviously watched, the Bristol dirt track racing this past weekend, or last week, I guess you could say. But, everyone's in the mood to race at Bristol, right? So it was perfect timing on Jonathan's end. We always appreciate the big money race. It brings guys out to his races, or just for us to, we have this could change a lot of things right now. We have a caution.
Caution out on the speedway as we will bring up the Player One Coffee Instant Replay brought to you by a few different sponsors there. You see them on the screen there. As we take a look here, we're going to wind it back here for you guys and find out exactly what happened. Here we go. Take a look here.
Yeah, that is exactly what the leaders did not want to see.
Boom. Looks like the 70 just got underneath Tanner there and got him loose, and that was enough to bring out the caution, I guess. So. The leaders did not want to see that, because now you just opened up a huge door for one of these big guys back here. And I say big guy, they're all big, but Alex Bergeron now has got another chance of life here.
Yeah, those guys were checked flat out, 1 and 2. It's unfortunate for those guys, but as the rest of us, it's fortunate because we get to watch some serious racing now, because those guys back there that are money hungry, those guys that, they want the money, probably don't need the money, but hey, it's $200, man. So a little slide job here, a little slide job there for a win. A win's a win, right?
Yeah, a win's a win, and I'm looking at it right here, and I'm looking at Alex Bergeron now has another chance here. He was really far back before the start there, but he's one of these guys that's definitely got the speed, the talent, and the skills to get up there and tango with the top 5 here. So it's going to get interesting quickly, my man.
Very, very interesting. So, yeah, and caution probably for the viewers is probably great. But hey, time will tell, right? We're only, what do we got? 6 laps left? So we are coming down to the nitty gritty right now.
Nitty gritty. I tell you, Blake Majulis and all them guys did not want to see that caution, but hey, it's going to get interesting. And like I said, I'm going to keep my eyes and the cameras on Alex Bergeron here, currently sitting in the 5 spot. He's got a fast car there, and now that he's got a second chance at life, I think he might be able to just slide on up there, baby. We'll see. Any predictions from you, Smolden?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Blake. With him starting up front like that, and as dominant as him and Evan have been up front, not only do you have to pass Evan to get to Blake, which there hasn't been many people passing Evan today, but like you said, Bergeron, he's one bad mother, you know what. So if anyone can do it or will do it, it would be Alex for sure. But it's a tall task. I'm going to go with Blake to win this one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. As we'll teach the TV the best we can here, TV3, as they're going single file restart. And we're ready to go here again. Blake's going to take the field down. 5 laps left to go here at Bristol. Blake Majulis, your race leader right now. Evan right behind him. And these guys are getting dicey. Yeager back there. Alex Bergeron trying to find something on the bottom line. Tanner Tomasi. Not sure exactly what happened back there, but they're racing hard still.
They're certainly racing hard. It looks like I think this top 5 will probably settle in where they're at. Oh. Looks like, was that Ethan getting in the wall back there? Oh,
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what these guys got going on right here. But they're rocking and rolling. Damian Kiefer working his way up. Alex Bergeron now trying to fight. There he is. Alex Bergeron still in that 5 spot looking to take the 4 away. And he took the 4 at the moment as you see Yeager up into the wall. Next stop for Bergeron is Ethan. Let's see if he can get up there and get him. Evan right now in the 2. Blake Majulis still your race leader as the white flag is going to come out this time by for Blake Majulis and the boys here at Bristol.
I'll race out of these guys. One more lap, though. One more lap.
One more lap to go here tonight. Blake Majulis doing a fantastic job. Evan back there in the 2. Evan's going to put the power down, and he's not going to be able to get it. It looks like it's going to be Blake Majulis is going to win it. Evan into 2, and Ethan's going to round out your top 3.